All right, so as you guys can see, we got a new camera. I forgot. As you guys can see, got an addition to today's pod. Head coach, athletic director, APR, 2023 football champion, 27-4 in the last 4 years as a head coach. One of the better programs in New York City football. We have Coach Perlo here today. Coach, I just want to start this thing off by asking, what year did you actually take over the football program?
So 2018, I got to Randolph. It was their first varsity year. I coached JV that year.
Oh, okay.
With the, intention that after a year of,
Right.
under my belt, that I would take over the program the next year. So 2019 was my first year.
That was a year before COVID?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The year before COVID. So we were actually ranked dead last, 56 and 56. I still remember the article on PSAL. We were the last ranked team.
So your year as the JV coach, varsity record that year was what?
2-7. They beat like Infotech and one other team that year.
And then your first year as the varsity head coach.
We went 8-1.
The first year?
First year, 2019. We went 8-1. We made the playoffs. And then we ran into a pretty good Stuyvesant team that year. They had this quarterback, Lucas Dingman. I still remember. He was really savvy. And they ended up going to the championship that year. Oh, wait. No, semis.
Who, Stuyvesant?
Stuyvesant.
All right, so real quick, just take us through this journey.
Yeah.
Put my notes down for a second.
Yeah,
so 2019, so 2020, we had our COVID year.
Right.
Did you guys play in the spring?
We did play in the spring.
Okay. And they made like a bracket for the teams that wanted to play.
Yeah. Local, they did it by borough. So the other teams in the Bronx and Manhattan that had teams, those were...
They just opted in. That's what you guys play.
Yeah.
And it was like a 6-game season.
Yeah, 6 games. Which was cool because we got to play teams like Kennedy and Truman, teams we never got to play.
Right. How did that go that season?
It was a lot of fun because, kids were excited to get back.
Right.
Long layoff. And they just wanted to play football. It really didn't matter about no playoffs, no championship. They just wanted to play football. And kids had a blast. We got to play teams that were traditionally, much higher ranked than us and good teams. So we had a lot of fun.
So the year after 2020, 2021, you guys went...
We went to the championship.
Against Clinton?
Against Clinton. And I actually never watched that game back until we won it the next year. And I finally went back and watched that game because it haunted me. But that group was the group I came in with in 2018. They were seniors, so and none of them played football before.
Wow.
So I say we were all homegrown.
Right.
We were literally all homegrown. They all learned the game 4 years, and then that was their senior year. Still, we were up 10 with 4 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, I was watching it.
It was a tough one to swallow. Like this year, losing, 42-28, I could go back and watch that game like they were the better team.
Right.
They had the best player on the field, that kid Sheldon from South Shore.
Right.
Oh,
wow.
You really think he was the best player?
That night
that
he was.
day? Okay.
Whoa.
Night he was.
What were we talking about? Sheldon? Who was you talking about?
Sheldon Richardson, number 7, running back.
Okay.
Sure. Well, athlete. Let me not say running back.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Good too.
Yeah, and Angelo, number 3. But Sheldon, I went back and watched that film and I broke it down. That kid was just on a different level.
And we're talking about the season that just passed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, rewinding back, 2021, you guys went to the championship, lost against Clinton.
Yeah.
2022. So 2021, I believe, was our last year. I don't want to say our last year, but our last year at boys.
Yes.
And then 2022 was your first season at Lincoln.
2020 was the COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in a school to play the
Spring League,
the sophomore, and then I was transferred So 2020, we had 3 games. We played Grady, Lafayette, and Canarsie.
Right.
And then that was the end of it. We played that. That season was like more towards the
It was a spring.
side.
Yeah, spring side.
So then the beginning of sophomore year is when we played the full season.
Right.
Transferred right after the season.
That was 2021, right? Your first season at Lincoln was in 2022?
Going into. Yeah, going into.
Yeah, so when you guys played Clinton, I was still at Boys. Then the following year, just giving you backstory on myself.
No, I love to hear it, man.
I was coaching the quarterbacks at Boys and Girls. Actually, when I graduated college, I was a JV head coach for about 3 or 4 years. Then I was the JV head coach and the varsity's quarterbacks coach. And then I got an opportunity from Coach McKinney at Sheepshead to be the varsity offensive coordinator. So I left the Boys and Girls, went to Sheepshead, started at Sheepshead. But I believe at Boys and Girls, we was playing in a different division. So when I came to Sheepshead, they was talking about Clinton. So I'm like, Clinton is good? And they was like, yo, Clinton is really good. So they was like, that's a team to beat. Clinton is the team to beat in this division. We got to be Clinton, got to be Clinton, got to be Clinton. I believe the year before I got there, I think Clinton knocked them out.
They went
on the playoffs.
They went undefeated until they played. No,
until they played Clinton.
They lost twice. Once to Clinton in the regular season, and once to Clinton
in the playoffs.
So
when I get to Boys and Girls, they're like, yo, we got to be Clinton, got to be Clinton, got to be Clinton. I mean, when I got to Sheepshead, the motto was got to be Clinton.
Listen, that was my first year coaching.
All right, so I meet Coach Youssef in the off season at weight training. Things is coming together. Coach Youssef, Coach Joe comes on staff. I came on staff, and I brought a couple guys with me from Boys and Girls on staff. So I'm like, yo, I'm coming here to win a championship, right? Amazing incoming 9th grade class. Yeah, he's straight. Amazing incoming 9th grade class. We were running a table. I believe that the first couple games, it was pretty much blowouts. But then as any coach or any player in any high school football league, you look to see what else is going on in the city.
Got to.
You see Randolph putting
then you see
40.
So I didn't know about Randolph.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, you guys never mentioned this team, right? So I'm like, you guys, what's going on with this team? And McKinney was like, yo, they're pretty good. He was like, they lost to Clinton in the championship the year before. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like, you guys didn't tell me that, but let me see what this team is about. So the first we went like 5-0. This is like game 7. And you guys were undefeated at the time.
Yeah.
And we have to go play you guys at Truman. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm watching film on you guys. And I'm like, yo, why wasn't this team brought up at the beginning of the season?
Nah, but if you looked at the championship game before that, the year before, Clinton again.
So I didn't until that week.
Yeah, like when I started coaching, that was like one of the first. I'm like, let me see what's going on. But
yeah.
You could see like they were in control of the game from first to the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes left. And then you just seen it was like 1 or 2 plays that shifted the whole momentum of the game.
The onside kick. Onside kick got over. So three refs throw their flag.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to get the ball back. Up 10, run out the clock. White hat comes in, picks up the flag. 3 flags. You can go back and watch. Wow. 3 flags come out. They touched it early. They hit our guy early. I mean, there was about 5 different. It was,
right.
Legal. Gave Clinton the ball. They go down. They score. And, the rest
wow.
of the so momentum. But it is what it is. One game, one play is not going to determine the outcome of a game.
So that's 2021. 2022, this is my first year as an offensive coordinator on a varsity level. I called offense on JV. So the pressure is kind of like on. So we get up to Truman, just giving you our version of how it went. We get up to Truman. We got there 20 minutes before kickoff.
I remember.
Everybody's like panicking. It was a mess. We start the game, so I already knew about some of you guys, some of the players that was on the team. We lose that game. I don't even know, maybe like a touchdown or two.
Yep.
2 score.
Yeah, 2 scores.
It was close the whole game. It was tied after.
It was
3.
yes. So halftime, it was tied at half.
Yeah.
You straight. You come through. Yeah, you straight. Tied at half. But now I kind of got to see what you guys were about. We lose that game, but then the motto of our season was, "We're gonna see them again."
Yep.
I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm good with that. The rest of the season kind of
back to regular schedule.
Yeah, we was just, pretty much wiping the table with everybody. All respects to those teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually,
always.
We had a dogfight with Far Rock. We won 8-0.
That surprised me. In the opening round of the playoffs.
So again, from our side, we bench. We both
Twin Towers.
Yeah.
David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
Yeah. We had some in-house trouble, and we benched both of our receivers for the game. So then after Far Rock,
we played.
we played another team before APR again.
So
yeah.
We did?
That was back when it was you had to win 4.
It was 3 games.
Yeah.
before.
Played another team. We played Lafayette, maybe.
Lafayette with Connor.
played
With
Lafayette.
Connor.
That game, I
Connor.
played
Yep.
that. Yeah.
We played Lafayette. It wasn't really a blowout, but we won by like 2 scores. But my whole, all right, I'm not gonna say as an offensive coordinator that I looked over Lafayette, but I wasn't too concerned with Lafayette. So during the week of Lafayette, from my point of view, I was watching film on you guys.
Yep.
I scanned through Lafayette, but it wasn't nothing. I was like, yo, after we get through Lafayette, let's just focus on this
let's
game.
play football.
And then we go back up to Truman again, back up to the Bronx again. Yeah, man. I believe that game we lost like 10 seconds
That was
left.
probably one of the greatest high school football games I've ever coached.
Yeah, I got.
I mean, the way that game unfolded. I mean, you couldn't script a better game.
Yep.
It was one. I thought we were done for because we was down 2 scores, and we're about to punch it in, right? And Zahil, who carried us all year, all playoffs.
This was number 12.
12.
A dog.
Dog.
A dog.
Kid was a dog. He never fumbled the whole year. He fumbles
really
heading
good.
into the end zone.
Yes.
And you recover. So now you're up 2 scores and you got the ball. And 2 plays later, you gave it right back to us. And I gave it right back to Zahil. He punched it in. And then we do a squib kick, get the ball back, score again. And
Slow down. Yo, the squib kick. Kicker kicked it. Yo, right in, I think Isaiah's face mask.
Yeah.
Hit him right.
It hit him so, it came so fast. It was like
fast,
so you couldn't blame him, for like not catching the ball. That's not a ball. It's just
Well, even at that point, I still feel like we had the game.
absolutely. I remember you was up top. I'm on the
Yeah,
field.
I thought we still had the game in pretty good hands. And you guys
recovered.
You recovered.
Got it. Bounced right back to us.
You drive down the field, but then we stop you guys, and then we get a penalty for roughing the passer.
So, was that when Nate got hurt for that one play?
He came back in.
Yeah,
So he
after
got
one
hurt,
play.
and then he came back in.
Wait.
No, it was late hit. It was
late hit. Yeah,
it was Roy.
No, Jalen.
Jalen. No,
yeah.
Roy was like, "You owe me."
Yeah.
And,
We
but
had another defensive tackle who was
he got
pretty
hurt. Was the quarterback 14?
Yeah, Nate.
He got hurt, and then in comes the
Jaden.
kicker, which is
Yeah.
I'm thinking they about to start running the ball because first play he got in,
Crazy.
he threw a bomb. I'm like, okay, yeah, the game plan did not stop for them. But
yeah, it was funny though.
a year later, seeing what this guy's quarterback all city, it's a dog, man. That's predicated to the good coaching you guys have. Like when the backup is ready.
I'll tell you something. My sophomore year when I went to the Maritime camp, you guys told me to go to Maritime.
Yeah, we went to Maritime camp.
That's when I first met Jaden, and I was just speaking to him. I asked him about his dreads. I asked him like where he's from and stuff because I didn't expect he had very long dreads. So he had a conversation. Then I asked him what school he go to. He said Cardinal Hayes, and he said he played. I said what position he played quarterback. And when I first see him throwing the ball, mentally I'm like, how's this kid a quarterback? He's short. He couldn't really throw. He was struggling to throw passes like slants, anything. He was not a quarterback. So then I came to his JV game when he was playing Hayes because a lot of my former teammates played with him on youth football. And they were playing Farrell. And he was making some good plays, like rolling out good plays. And then...
Oh, Jaden.
Yeah, he was kicking field goals, everything. He was all over the field. And then next thing you know, he passed it to Randolph, and then he just changed completely. Next thing you know, I'm seeing him on Instagram throwing 50-yard bombs, stronger, always in the park working out. He's always training.
Yep.
Like even recently, he texted me about a week ago to get in contact with James Brady. He's been training in Long Island with who I train with.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And that's a far commute from where he's coming from.
Yeah.
All the way to Long Island. So
yeah, he's following the game.
So yeah, we end up losing. Well, I think it was like maybe 25 seconds, 30 seconds left in the game. You guys ran belly pass. I'm screaming that it's going to one. Belly pass, no?
No, so what happened was this
double tight.
Crazy.
One was at tight end.
So we're up. No, we're up, right? And then you guys, it's getting late. It's fourth quarter, and all of a sudden we back you up. It's like fourth and 15, and you guys throw.
What happened? We threw the slant to Roro.
Yeah, but I thought you guys were going to the Twin Towers, so we had them covered. And you throw a slant, you get first down on the one.
And then
after the game, I thought it was over. I thought, okay, we could breathe. We're gonna stop them. They get the first down. You don't get in on the first quarterback sneak, so time is ticking, and then you get in on the second one, and now it's 5 minutes left to the dot.
Yeah.
And I told my coaches upstairs, I go, okay, we cannot give the ball back to these guys because they're gonna go down and score. Your quarterback was having a day. He was having a day.
Yeah.
So the plan was, okay, we're gonna take the ball, we're gonna drain out these 5 minutes, and we're gonna score, and we're gonna win this game. On that drive, we go into we call it robust. So double tight, full house backfield.
Yeah.
Is that we give the ball to Zahil over and over. And it's 4th and 2. Okay, here's the game from the headset. Okay, he gets 3. 4th down again. Okay, we pick it up, and then we run a stupid play. It backs us up, and then I got a couple timeouts left, and the clock is ticking. And now it's under a minute. All the coaches, you could even ask them, they're like, "Coach, you still have timeouts. You still have timeouts." I tell them, "I got this. Like, I know the play I want. I've been setting this up all year." So we faked Zahil. We call it's like a slant pass.
Yeah.
Seba supposed to do a little leak out.
Yeah.
Back of the end zone, back pylon. Nate opens up the wrong way. So at first I'm like, this play's doomed. Season's over, we gotta stop. He gets deep enough. Seba breaks through. He gives him to him back of the end zone. Seba goes up. Once Seba goes up, he's coming down with it. But here's the thing. 30 seconds left. All right. So now,
Good point.
So now, I'm like, you guys have been. I think you returned a kickoff that game.
Yeah,
Khalil took one back, and we did a good job all year covering kicks, but that game we couldn't cover. So I tell Jaden, I say, the ball has to go out of bounds. The ball has to go out of bounds. I don't care where you kick it out of bounds. It's got to go out of bounds. He kicks it close to out of bounds. It bounces back in. Okay.
Yeah.
A young Coop caught it.
Was that Cooper?
Cooper, yeah.
caught
So
it.
Coop almost brings it back. Okay, so that's first off.
No, Coop caught it and gave it to Khalil.
Yeah, a little reverse.
Yeah.
Okay, so my guy from the backside somehow tracks him down, senior, who, was just saved the day.
Yeah.
And then you still had 3 plays left. And as soon as your quarterback threw it on that last play, I could tell from my angle it was going to go out of bounds. So I was like, oh, I could breathe. But that was, y'all got down to like the 30 after I thought, because I knew we couldn't give you the ball back. That's why I ate up so much time. But
so that happened.
The hell of a game.
I wanted to come back only to beat you guys. To be honest.
Yeah.
I got a job offer from Franklin that off season, as the OC at Franklin, as the quarterbacks coach at Franklin, sorry. Which was 5 minutes from my house. And I was gonna turn it down only to come back just to beat you guys. I'm like, listen, everybody we needed was coming back. The only hole that we had was at quarterback because Veen graduated.
Yeah.
I called Coach McKinney. I told Coach McKinney that, I couldn't return for the next season because I got a job offer at Franklin. That I thought Coach Youssef would be the best guy to be the offensive coordinator there. And I text Coach Youssef like, no matter what happens in the season, you guys have to beat Randall. Yo, that was like, yeah. So we played on Friday nights at Franklin. Coach Youssef was like, yo, Randolph's coming to us. I said, I'm coming. So we usually have film on Saturdays. I text Coach Blair. I'm like, Coach Blair, I can't make film. I apologize. I never miss. You know what I'm saying? I never miss. But please, just excuse me for this one film session because I have to go to Brooklyn today. He was like, yo, I'm sure whatever it is, it's important. Yeah. Go handle your business. I drive into Brooklyn. You guys are there. And Sheepshead pulls out the win. I wasn't even on the coaching staff, and I was like, that's what we needed. Fast forward, they text me and they're like, yo, we gotta play them again.
Semifinals.
In the semifinals. And I'm like, yo, if this is not deja vu, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys play that time?
At Truman.
At Truman.
At Truman. Yeah, I couldn't make that game, man.
I'm glad you did it. Yeah.
How did that game go? I missed the game. I didn't.
You got a ring on now.
That's from the
So first of all, the first game, our team we were still trying to come together as a team. I graduated everyone from that championship year. 9 out of 11 starters on both sides of the ball were gone. So we were still trying to click. We were actually up 3 scores in the first game.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And then a 4th down, they run Coop on a sweep. He takes it to the house. They're back in the game. Mm-hmm. It's like we I call it killer instinct. We just didn't have the killer instinct yet. Mm-hmm. Those are the plays you have to stop if you want to beat a team down. Sure. So in the semis, we were starting to vibe and we were really starting to roll. And we just start to finish. That week was our best week of practice.
Wow.
Everyone was locked in, laser focused. Nobody missed practice that week. I watched more film that week than I had, forever. I was ready. And we dominated start to finish. Except second half, they got a little juice, and then 3rd down, we get a big play, and that just took the wind out of their sails, and that was it.
Spot on. Yo, Contra, that was the best week for them. right after the game, I asked him, I was like, yo, how was practice for you guys this week?
Yeah.
First thing he said to me was like, he looked at me like, this is sheepshead week. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is probably my worst week of practice.
Really?
Yeah, guys I think they thought they won the game before the game started. They was on a high horse from first game. Before. I'm like, listen, I still got a coach.
Yeah.
Like, I still need you guys there. Like, I can't run the same things I was running the first game. You got great coaches over there. Defensive coordinator, I never met him. I'm pretty sure I shook his hand a few times, but yo, they scheme really well. Like that 2 hang defenders, usually 3-4. The backers, you look at them like physically short.
Yeah.
But they get to it. You could tell like they play for their coach.
They get to it.
They play for their coach, man. They play discipline. They play to their keys. You just have to sometimes just gotta outman them. And players gotta make plays. Like Travis that game. But to me, I think number 2, I forgot his name. Yomar. He played moved the chains a little bit too.
Yeah.
For the past 2 years, I think he's been like the glue.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Was Travis in the program the year before?
So Travis played JV.
He did play JV?
His whole freshman year, he scored like 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. He dominated. I actually bring him up after the JV season. Okay.
So you don't think he could have played varsity that year?
Could have, but we were so stacked that year that we beat boys and girls in the championship 41-12. We just had to get through you guys in the semis. We both knew whoever got to the championship was
one.
One of the teams on that side was gonna win. It was like
one.
It was unfair.
So I call up Travis for the playoff or at the end of the regular season. And he actually ended up starting for us in the championship game.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, because we as a freshman, and then you look at him from freshman year to sophomore year, he's put on like 20, like he's just even now. Him running track, it's like, man, just like wait till this kid keeps growing. He's just naturally, and he cuts weight, and he has a 5th gear. He has a 5th gear that that one trap took to the end zone. We ran trap running out the clock in the half. He takes it 90 yards. And Coop couldn't even track him
down.
Ran
trap. He was playing. He wasn't playing on the wing.
He was.
He played where 12 was playing.
Yeah.
Better athlete, him or number 1. Seba is his name.
Seba. Yeah. 1. They're 2 different players. Travis,
he's amazing. That kid was amazing.
Yeah,
the tall receiver.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He played safety too.
He tracks the ball really
on both sides of the ball. Amazing kid, just like phenomenal. Like
you guys use him at Rover.
Yeah,
he was the quarterback of that defense.
Travis.
No, number 1 the year before.
I got to see him play on DB.
Oh yeah, he's good.
When I seen him play against boys and girls, y'all were more like sending.
Yeah,
because it was a wing tee, so I've never seen him really at safety.
Yeah. He really nothing really got to him that game. We stopped him at the line that game all day. But Travis, he cuts. He's just like has this natural like change of direction speed
1000%,
that Seba didn't have.
Yeah,
but Seba had the height. He's got the ups, he's got the hands. He just so 2 different players. It's hard to compare them.
All right, well, better quarterback.
What's that?
Who's the better quarterback, Nate or Jaden?
Oh man. So Nate was another one who only played flag up until high school. I tell you, a lot of our kids now we're getting the kids from the youth program.
Yeah, I'm about to say I was going to ask you.
For a while, we were 95% homegrown. So Nate did things that Jaden can't do. Jaden did things that Nate can't do. And so like two different to compare, but they're both really good quarterbacks. Nate's over at Lincoln University, and Jaden's going to do a prep year down in Myrtle Beach because Jaden just turned 17, so he's young. So he's young. And he needs another year to develop, and he's chasing his dream. He wants to play, D1 football. So.
I like that, man. What's the workload like being the AD in the school and coaching?
It's a lot.
Football team. Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's difficult, man.
Surprisingly, the spring is busier than the fall because
the spring is busier than the fall.
Yeah, because we got a lot of teams at Randolph. So when our spring season starts, the rosters, the paperwork, the coaches, the equipment, a lot of outdoor sports. So very, very busy in the spring. The fall is kind of like a well-oiled machine. The coaches have been there a while. We're we know what we're doing. But the spring is busy. It's just busy year round.
I meant to ask you, how did you build the football staff?
Yeah.
Were those guys already there, or did you bring those guys in?
So, no, it's a great question, and you need good help, right? You
1,000%.
You cannot
impossible
have a successful program without help. So after the first year, first of all, my dad is my assistant coach.
No way.
My dad,
he sits next to me. Yeah. He's a
the whole time.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So he retired, and then the next year I got the job at Randolph. I was coaching upstate before I went to Randolph.
Wow.
And I asked him, I was like, hey, because he coached football for 20 years, youth football, and I was like, hey, you want to? I need help. You want to? He hasn't left since.
Wow.
He's there every single day.
Wow.
The city loves it. And then after the Clinton year, after the year we lost to Clinton, I was like, okay, I need a defensive coordinator. I was doing offense, defense, special teams.
Wow.
And I loved it, but it's just, huddle cards. I couldn't do it. And I was going to burn myself out. So the guy I coached with upstate, we both coached at Westlake High School. It's a Class C, we were B at the time, but up in Westchester. We had gone to 3 straight section titles. We won a regional title in the state tournament, and I was like, dude, can you come? Can you come help?
Yeah.
And we got him on board. And then his first year was the 2022 year, and then I got really lucky because my JV coach is like the best JV coach you could have. I mean, he's on top of all of their academics. He runs scholar athlete program. As soon as the season ends, 3 days a week, he's in the library. He's in charge of their academics. I mean, he trains the kids at JV to do exactly what we do up at varsity. And so I got really lucky with him because the school hired him, and then I found out that he played football, and I was like, hey, I need a JV coach. And he's been phenomenal.
What's his name?
Sean Frawley.
And the defensive coordinator?
Scott Reynolds.
Sorry, I got to look up Scott Reynolds.
Yeah. So Scott Reynolds is the nephew of John Castellano, who's in the Westchester Hall of Fame, Section 1 Hall of Fame coaching. He coached at Nyack and won state championships there. And so I have one of my kids that graduated in 2019, who was supposed to be my quarterback that year, a senior, broke his collarbone first game. And as soon as he graduated, he came back and he's my assistant coach.
He's usually up top.
Yeah, he's up top with my dad.
Yep, got you.
And then another guy within the building we brought in. So it's kind of every year we kind of add a new piece, but we have a really good chemistry. We have 7, so between varsity and JV.
Expectations for this upcoming season? Other teams, not you guys. Who do you think is going to be in the thick of things?
We got...
In what division?
Yeah.
Well, you guys' division first.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know what division we're in.
I'm lost. Yeah.
So when they split the PSAL into 4 conferences, right? They took A and B and then split A and B into...
Right.
Which...
It's 1A, 2A.
Everyone's got their own opinion on it.
Yeah.
So... Really, the top of 2A, in my opinion, if you watch us versus South Shore,
1,000%,
and you watch the 3A title, nothing against those teams.
Definitely,
I think the level of play was higher.
Should have been flip flopped.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, that's my opinion. And I'm not taking anything away from those teams. Because I know those are good teams, and Coach Harding does a great job.
Absolutely.
Clinton does a great job. And those are really good programs, but I think us or South Shore, if either of us were in the 3A, and even you guys would have made a run at a 3A championship. I just think, the best of the small schools are better than the worst of the big schools.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the term worst, but the lower.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
That's just my opinion, but I don't want to take anything away from those programs. But that's how. So I don't know what division we're going to be in. I don't know who they're moving up. I know they can't move teams down. But our expectation is
teams can't move down.
You can from 4A to 3A, but you can't from 3A to 2A.
Gotcha.
Because of enrollment. If your school is over 2,000, you are automatically in 4A or 3A.
Yeah, if Fort Hamilton just moved down this past year.
Oh, okay. So from 4A to 3A, you can move down from 3A to 2A.
Like, for example, Bayside, if they had a tough year, they have a lot of kids at their school, they would probably, based on PowerPoint, they would go down to 3A, but they can't go down to 2A because they're such a large school. So our expectation, no matter what division, 2A, 3A, is to, go to a championship.
I'm hoping PSAL can come out with the scheduling and who's playing
much earlier.
I mean, luckily they did release the start date, right? So August 18th.
Right.
So we know when league games start. So we're gonna play Kennedy opening night like we did the last 2 years.
How's that game been going?
We won in our 2022 year, and then we lost last year. Right. It was like 11-point game. So nice crosstown rivalry. And then week 2. September 6th, we're going down. We're going down to Philly, and we're going to play Roman Catholic, this private school down there. So should be fun.
We played a lot of kids. We played a lot of kids from there.
Roman Catholic.
7-on-7. What's that school called? What's the team called? We went to
OTG. Tribe.
Nah, that Tribe was from Jersey. When we went to Delaware, I was talking to all those kids from Roman Catholic. They're pretty good.
Yeah. I've seen their film. They're very good.
They had a DB that was committed. They had a DB that was committed to Pitt like 2 years ago.
Oh, and their running back just went D1 from last year too.
Oh, Roman Catholics?
Yeah.
Kids?
Yeah, they're good.
Really quickly, how was it game planning against? I know you guys played in the non-league. What's the difference between game planning for 2A team, 3A team, and a high quality, high powered offense?
So so that was our bye week, right? So the last thing we wanted to bye weeks, in my opinion, are killer. Even if you're banged up. I mean, if you're really banged up, okay, but we do our best to, fill our bye weeks. The year before we played New Dorp.
Okay.
And we always want to play the best competition available. And so Lincoln, your coach, reached out to all the 2A teams, South Shore, you guys, because we shared a bye week, and I was like, absolutely, we'll come. We ended up saving their homecoming. What was it, homecoming? It was like homecoming weekend for y'all. Yeah. So someone forfeited. Oh, yeah. So it wasn't your pie week. They had a forfeit that week, and it was their homecoming. And I didn't even know this at the time, but I just wanted to play a game. So, watching their film, I was like, it's really it's just a cool experience,
for sure.
Now I've never gone into a game thinking we can't win, not once.
Yeah.
I still to this day thought, we could have pulled it out.
Yeah.
We just played terrible.
Yeah.
Rain game,
heavy rain game. They were, they did they took care of the ball. We didn't. You can't if you don't take care of the ball, you're not going to win games. And a couple, just things were not going our way. He played great. Didn't even play much, right?
I got out in the first quarter.
You started the second half.
The quarterback that they took me out for got hurt. He twisted his ankle, but I wasn't supposed to play.
Oh.
He twisted his ankle in the rain.
Because I remember
Perkins hurt himself.
Oh, Perkins.
Because I remember the first drive of the second half, you guys got the ball and you were still, chucking the ball downfield.
So that was we needed that game bad.
Yeah.
Because we just came from a very, very aggravating loss from Erasmus.
Oh, Erasmus, yeah.
And the locker room wasn't the locker room. People were I wouldn't say people. They played scared that game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it was bad for me. I needed it because I was like, in my opinion, we should have never lost to Erasmus that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the film, we had a great week of practice. And then it comes down to performing.
Yeah,
we just fell apart, and it's like watching the film. It aggravated me. I had to delete the Huddle app off my phone.
Yeah,
because
it happens.
I'm watching all my receivers be open, but the whole defensive lineman is chasing me. I'm like, everybody's open. I couldn't even get my drop out.
Right.
And then on top of that, once they started sending, so it's getting more aggravating. But then we had for your week when we played you guys, it was we had a best week of practice actually throughout the whole season that week, and everybody was ready. O'Connor was hyping it up, saying we had a game, and he was like happy because we thought we was gonna have a bye.
Yeah.
Some people didn't want to really practice. He was unmotivated until the second day when we found out on it was Tuesday.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, so then you guys came out with a big boom box.
Yeah.
And hyping, so I hyped it up. Everybody was in the mood.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
It was fun.
Because OC, everybody was thinking, oh, it was gonna be a walk in the park until you guys were actually moving the ball on us and punching us in the face.
So even knowing these guys was a championship team, you guys still felt like it's a walk in the park because champions, they
people get like blinded by the division.
Yeah,
thinking, okay, you're in the 2A division. We play against Tomville, all those schools. They play against whoever they play against. So it's like they didn't respect them, but I knew that they were good. I knew Haley was really good. He probably had more passing yards than me that game. My opinion. Him and I think receiver number 12 or whatever receiver is. I think it was 12 or 17, whatever number he wore.
Yeah.
Them two together was Gamble scored twice.
Yeah.
So they really moved the ball on us, and I wouldn't say we played better. It's just the rain. People slipped open. Like one of the plays I threw a post, Solomon made the guy stumble. Rain wide open. So
you went to the game?
Yeah, man, Height was there.
I went to the game.
It's not like I wouldn't say we totally dominated them. They just couldn't punch it in. They were driving the ball, and then we stopped them.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were driving the whole.
We put the ball on the ground a few times. But game planning, he's hard to game plan for. I thought we did a great job of shutting down your running back, who on film looked solid. On film, he was like, good. Man, I don't think he didn't do much versus us. It was this guy.
It was Kyan had a very tough game.
Yeah.
I remember the first play I got sacked.
Yeah.
You guys, it was cover 0. That's what y'all played the whole game basically. I remember talking to Nate Sean, like he was talking crap from where he was.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he called a play. He made a call out. And I dropped back. 2 people came off the edge. My tackle fell. I had to jump over my tackle.
Yeah, I remember
stumbled, and then I got tackled. And then my coach called a timeout, blocked on us.
Yeah.
He was like, there's no way we start the game out with a sack. And blacked on us.
So before we end this, I'm going to ask both of you guys this question. If you was to recommend someone that we have on this podcast, who would it be? Let's get 2 people. I'll get 2 and 2.
You mean to come here and
speak? Yeah. So we just want to give a platform to people to come and just tell their side, because we don't really get the inside scoop of, you know what I'm saying, of how things went, certain games, and how they feel about different situations. So if you had to recommend 2 guys that we bring up here.
PSAL player or coach?
Yeah, player or coach.
Yep. Player or coach. Man, I think Coach Vega over at Kennedy. Runs a really, really good program. They have the program's been around a long time, right? Yep. So they have a rich history, but man, I think it was the year we beat them, 2022, our championship year. He kind of I think it was like a wake up call.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But they just, ever since then, they've really kicked it into high gear, and they do a phenomenal job recruiting and bringing in good players. And just good people, you know. And I think, you know, he deals with a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah.
He would be a great person to talk to. He kind of like took me under his wing a little bit and kind of showed me the ropes, and he let me train with him in the summer of 2022 because they were a PSAL spot, and like, you know, we met over that COVID year, and he's done a lot for me. And anytime I need advice, I ask him. I call him. Hey, you know, is this a good idea? Is it I'm like, hey, would I be crazy to go down and play Lincoln? He'd be like, man, if you're not banged up, do it. You know, let the kids play.
And your second guy would be.
Second guy, man, I think it's cool to talk to players.
I think so
you
too.
know, so, you know, maybe Jaden Haley would be a good kid to talk to. He played at Hayes, and then, you know, Rich was coming up, Beelan, and so like, you know, and they kind of named him the starter before his junior year. He didn't even have a chance to, you know, fight for it.
Yeah.
They kept the brother.
Yeah, exactly.
His brother graduated. Yeah.
And so he kind of, you know, was looking to move on, and I told him, I was like straight up. I said, look, I got a quarterback.
Yeah,
he's a senior.
Once he get,
but you know, you know. I've had him for 3 years. Like, you could battle him out, like for sure. But you know, he's my guy.
Right.
You know, you'd spend a year kind of learning the system, and I think he reached out to some other schools, and academics were an important part of it too. And we have pretty good academics at Randolph. People don't realize that because we're public school, and we're not a specialized school, but the academics are really good. And you know, sure enough, he's like, I want to come to Randolph. Even though he would have to sit a year, he didn't care. He just loved the vibe, loved the culture. So he'd be, you know, interesting. Travis would be a cool kid to talk to.
I see him. You're two. If you had to recommend 2 people to come up here on the podcast.
If I was to coach, I want to see where Dave Legree. Sure.
Okay.
How they're doing, because they're coming up, and I want to see how like everything will look out.
Okay, Coach Legree. Who else?
Maybe bring up. That's tough because it's a lot of people you could talk to.
Yeah, anybody.
Another coach could be Brian.
Brian Ellis. Coach Ellis.
After playing them yesterday in that 7-on-7, they got a bright future in that program. So
all right, we want to thank you guys for definitely coming up, man. Definitely a pleasure. Want to give you guys a chance to speak on this platform. Thank you guys, like 1,000%. This is the Move the Chains podcast. We're out.